Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the John Bierchen Show. I am play-by-play voice Kendall Grayson, joined as always by head coach John Bierchen. Coach, we'll talk about the weekend last weekend where Alabama swept the Ole Miss Rebels. But first, let's go back to a more recent event. The Super Bowl was on Sunday, and I know that you had some thoughts about Bill Belichick's press conference. I know that's one of the people that you look up to in the industry. But can you tell us a little bit about what you were able to gain in terms of experience from watching not only the meltdown that the Falcons had, but the comeback that the Patriots were able to produce?
Well, I think Sunday night is just another indication that process-oriented thinking always I shouldn't say always, but most of the time wins out. You look at one point they were down 21-3, and I think we all saw those win probabilities on social media, and I think it was at 1.7% at one point. I saw another one that was less than 1%. But all they did was stay focused on what they had to do, which is do your job, which is like Bill Belichick likes to say, and they just kept grinding away. And you could almost feel it once it was 28-12. I kept watching, and I was like, you know what? They might not win this game, but they aren't going to lose by 3 or 4 touchdowns. And then you could just see them continue to chip away. And whether it was the first snap of the game or the last snap of the game, they continued to just do their job, hit their blocks, hit their assignments, and you could just see they got stronger as the game went on. I say stronger, but really they were strong from the first snap to the last snap, and that's what happens when you stay focused on the process and doing your job. Is good things happen like they did for the Patriots on Sunday night.
Coach, you referenced that process-oriented approach that the New England Patriots and Coach Bill Belichick had in the Super Bowl. He also had some interesting comments about Tom Brady specifically in his press conference. I just want to get your thoughts on that.
Well, somebody had asked him if he thought that Tom Brady was more motivated this year because of the 4-game suspension to start the year. And, I really enjoyed and appreciated his answer. And his answer was that that's disrespectful to Tom Brady to say that he's working harder this year than he has, in previous years. And he went on to say that, Tom Brady approaches every day the same. So since day one, 17 years ago, when he stepped in the New England Patriots organization, he has worked as hard as he possibly can for himself and for his teammates and for the organization. So I really thought that was a very interesting answer from Bill Belichick and very telling on why Tom and Bill Belichick and the Patriots have been successful for so long, because they don't need motivation per se. They just literally approach every day by doing their job and working as hard as they possibly can to be as good as they can every single day.
Coach, going back to last weekend, Alabama swept the Ole Miss Rebels 7-1 on Friday night, 6-4 on Saturday night. Those the final 2 road games of the season. So as Alabama is now done with their road portion of the schedule, just specifically, if you could pinpoint some things last weekend that your team did well. We know that they won both the games, but forgetting about the scoreboard and those wins, what were some things that happened in those 2 games that you like, that you think your team can build on going forward here in the home slate?
Well, we certainly, transitioned well in the neutral zone. We hunted pucks really well. Our offensive zone puck possession was probably one of the best of the year in both games. We almost got too fancy at times, and we talked about it on the broadcast, and we talked about it in between periods and before the games with our team. So, sometimes you can get too pretty, and I know we have a very skilled team. We do a lot of skill work. We worked on skills again this week in practice. So sometimes you just got to say, okay, now it's time to attack the net. So they had another disciplined weekend. So we had one penalty on Saturday. So hopefully going into this week against West Virginia, we can continue to do those things really to an elite standard of puck possession, staying disciplined and not taking penalties, transitioning well in the neutral zone, hunting pucks. So our defensive zone needs to improve. It's been up and down all year, so we've worked on that a lot at practice this week. So hopefully we can put all that together and have an elite performance this weekend. This Friday, we're happy to announce that James Spann will be our social media captain for the night. Start time is at 7 p.m. Hope to see you there, and roll Tide.